Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. All right, so it is time to move on with this sign. I want to get this thing wrapped up. So what we're going to do next, again, I'm filming by myself, so I will be doing this in several different scenes. We're going to get into pouring this thing right now. I'm going to go over, I'm going to come back behind the camera and get some close-ups of exactly what we're going to do, and then we'll get into it and get this thing poured. So hang with me. All right, guys, so here we go. This is that depression there that I cut down with a flat bottom. I want to fill that with black resin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a product that I haven't tried before. When we were at Workbench Con, and actually even before, Total Boat Resin Company actually reached out to me and wanted me to review, or offered me to review their product. So I've been hearing a lot about them. Haven't used it myself yet. You know, Vicky uses another product, and I've been happy with the other product, but I've heard really, really good stuff about them. Went to their little seminar at Workbench Con, and we are going to use the two-part mix here on that on this sign. So we're going to pour that, basically that depression with black resin, and I'm really curious about several different products. The one on the left is in essence an enamel, a blue colored enamel that I want to try, but this one, that Halcyon or Halcyon clear, the guy at that was at Total Boat booth at Workbench Con told me that this can be put on over the top of resin that will protect it from UV rays. So I'm really, really curious about that. I'm not going to use that on this particular project, but I will be using that, definitely trying that on a project in the very near future. But for now, I am going to go ahead and mix some of this stuff and put some black pigment in it, and we're going to fill that thing right there. So I'm going to get set up for that. We'll be right back. So here's what we're going to do. Here's the cool thing is they sent me a cool little instruction booklet. I've taken the pumps and put them in their respective containers, and basically it's a 2-to-1, but what you do is just one pump equals one pump. This is a smaller container, and this is so you use one pump to one pump, which gives you an exact 2-to-1 measurement, hardener over the resin. So I am going to attempt to kind of show you what I'm doing here. So bear with me, because I have it sure would be easier if there was somebody else here helping me film this, but since I'm on my own, you guys will just have to kind of bear with me. So I don't know exactly how much this is going to take. I am going to pretty much fill up this cup with as many pumps as it takes. This is an 8-ounce cup, and there's measurements on there right there. So I'm going to, gosh, I need to put the camera up just a little bit more. Hang with me, guys. Hopefully that will, I'm going back and forth here. Yeah, you can see both the pumps now. So I'm going to give this, oh, let's say, that's 1, 2, yeah, I know you guys can count, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to prime these pumps when you first put them in, to make sure that you don't have any air. I think that's 8, 9, 10. Gosh, I hope I counted that right. Now 10 of the hardener. You know what? I think I'm just going to... No, I'm going to go 5 more each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gosh, I hope I'm doing this right. It seems pretty simple when somebody else is doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that looks like it's actually a little over 6 ounces. That's what I'm going to go with. Now it says I need to stir it for a couple minutes. So I'm going to stir this for a couple minutes. And I will be right back. Okay, I've been stirring this for actually better part of 3 minutes. So now I am going to add some black pigment. This is some stuff that Vicky had. It's eye candy. I really don't know how much to add, but I do want it to be black. So we'll see how this works out here. Oh, that looks pretty black. It seems so wrong not to have Vicky here razzing me about something. Anyway, all right, so actually I'm going to go a little bit more, I think. Vicky's probably screaming at the other side of the camera right now saying, no, it's too much. Anyway, I'm hoping that this is enough at least. I've got like a piece of black walnut up on a shelf that's got a big old crack in it. If I end up with a lot of extra, or if I end up with any extra at all, I'm just going to pour the extra in there because I want to kind of fill that up anyway. So it's been, I've got my phone over here to the side. It's been about 4.5 minutes since I started stirring it, and feels like it's in pretty good shape here. So my goal is to fill up this groove and not, and hopefully not get too much on the rest of the surface. By the way, I've got this leveled out. I kind of shimmed it underneath. I didn't have to put it up on the pyramids because there's none going over the edge, hopefully. Theoretically, I don't think there's going to be going over the edge. That's my plan, is not to have that happen. So let's pour this and we will see what happens here. Are you guys as nervous as I am? Probably not. Maybe I didn't pour enough, but even if I didn't, that's okay. I would rather under pour and then pour some more on top to fill it up on a second pour. Oh man, don't go over the edge. Level out, man. Yes, I'm a man talking to his epoxy. Gosh, you can hear the clock ticking in more ways than one. I cracked myself up. Oh, all right, so I'm going to move it around a little bit just to make sure it goes every place it's supposed to go. Actually, I'm not terribly unhappy with that so far. I cannot believe I have not spilled over onto the surface at this point. And my plan really is to, I wonder if I can get some texture down in there. Now I'm probably just pressing my luck. But this does have a little bit of a metal flake in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think what I'm going to do is come to the other side of the camera and really zoom in so you guys can see some of the little sparklies in there that I can see. But what I was about to say is that once this dries, then my next thing is I'm going to pour the whole thing. That's when I'll jack it up and have pyramids underneath it, and then I'll pour the whole thing. So even if this isn't up to the complete surface, which yeah, I poured way more than enough. Look how much I've got left. Even if it's not up to the surface, doesn't matter, because my clear pour is going to fill everything up. It'll fill all of this stuff, and it'll fill up any deficiencies that's down in there. Man, I'm liking the way that looks right now. I really, really am. So let's see if I can zoom in on that for you guys. I probably just jinxed it by saying I really like the way it looks. So it'll probably explode here in the next 5 minutes. I don't know. Anyway, that always makes me nervous when I think I did better than... it always kind of messes me up. So, anyway, it actually feels like it's starting to get thick. And I think one of the things that they say about this is the low VOCs, which means I literally can't smell anything at all. I can't smell any vapors or anything. It really has no smell to it, according to my nose, which isn't the greatest at this point. But I'm really liking the way that looks. I think that's gonna be really, really good. So, if everything goes right, I'm gonna let me kind of get back here, zoom in, so you guys can see what's going on there. So I've got that extra. I've got that piece of black walnut up on a shelf, and I'm gonna pour this stuff in there. And then I think this stuff actually says you can re-pour like in an hour, which I won't need to. I'll probably wait till tomorrow or this evening to put my clear pour, but you guys will see that. So that is about it right now, guys. I'll see you back here in a second, and we'll if this comes out the way it looks like it's going to come out, then we'll pour the clear. And then after that dries, we got one more step, which is what I'm more excited about. Anyway, all right, we'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, folks, we're back, and this has now set overnight, and this is all this whole pour is completely solidified. It looks really, really good. I really like it. It dried with like 0 bubbles. I had absolutely no bubbles to deal with at all. So what we are doing now, if I'll back up a little bit, we've got it up on blocks now. I got to level it up, and we are going to do the clear pour over the whole thing. I've calculated it out, and I need about 12 ounces. should be more than enough to do what I need to do. So here we go. I'll come right back and we'll get this thing poured. Okay, so what I've done here, guys, is I've decided to take the pumps out of the bottles. I've got, if you can, I don't know if I can zoom in close enough, but I've got 8 ounces of the resin in this mixing cup, and I am now going to add 4 ounces of the hardener. As soon as I put my glove on, I'm going to add 4 ounces of the hardener, and that way I don't have to just count pumps. I'm just doing it by volume. So now if I can do this right, I'll bring it up to 12 ounces. Right about there. Now it's at 12 ounces. I'm hoping that's on camera. And I've got to mix it for about 3 minutes, and then we'll be right back and pour it. Okay, so I've mixed it for about 3 minutes, and I'll tell you what, guys, I've used several different kinds of resins, but the one we were using before, I won't mention it by name, but you guys probably know it, but after I would mix it for 3 minutes, it would look almost foamy. This has got like almost 0 bubbles in it, and normally at this point, the other product I was using would have tons of bubbles, almost like I say, foamy. All right, well, let's see if I can do this without Vicky here. And again, this is 12 ounces all together. The actual calculator that I used said that 9 ounces should be enough, but I always find that I run short. So oh, that's going to drip over there, which I want it to drip over, honestly. You can see I turned it sideways. Oh, by the way, I also leveled it out. It is almost dead level. I don't want it to kind of go over too much here. Hoping you guys are catching this, but it said that I should need like 9 ounces, so I always pour extra because I've got carving that I've got to account for going down in the groove. I'm going to save that a little bit. Start moving it around a little bit here. I really want it to go down over that live edge. At this point, Vicky would have her hands in it, which I'm probably gonna end up doing that myself. I'm just holding off right now, but so by the way, oh yeah, I forgot. I turned it sideways, guys, so you can, so that I be sure and not drip over the edge of the bench. So now I've got to, yeah, I guess I'm going Vicky style now. I've got to, I don't think well, I know based on that, on my last pour, I know I don't have the work time that I do with the other product that I was using, and because that black that I poured, that stuff set up pretty darn fast. I mean, it was like, you know, I think within an hour it was solid. And they say you can re-pour after an hour, but anyway, I want to make sure that I've got a lot going over the edge here. I want to make sure and get all of that live edge completely immersed. not just the live edge, actually the square edge as well. All right, guys, I think you probably have kind of got the idea of what I'm doing here. I just got to work with this for a few minutes, make sure everything is covered. But I'm liking this stuff so far. So I'm going to shut the camera off, and then I'll come back and let you know what it looks like. Hey folks, all right, well, it's all dry, ready to go. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty happy with this Total Boat resin. So this was the high performance resin with the slow hardener. And it had a couple little tiny micro bubbles, but nothing, you really got to look hard for them. So it's almost perfect. It's still not exactly perfect, but it's about as close as I can get. But I'm super happy with this stuff. And I'm going to go into more details about the Total Boat at the end. But this isn't quite done, even though I'm super happy with it. Love the way the edges came out. They sealed up good. The live edge, super happy with that. Anyway, I've got one more thing special that I want to do on here, and we'll come right back and do that next. Okay, so there's one more element that I want to do on here that I've never done before, but I got this idea a couple weeks ago when I was trying to formulate my plan for making this. So what I've done is I've taken a real small drill bit and I just drilled a hole right here in the top all the way through. And I'm hoping you guys can see that. Again, I'm filming by myself. So there's my hole right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to countersink that, or actually counterbore it. I've got a little spade bit. I'd like to have a Forstner bit, but I don't have Forstner bit. So I made my mark. I'm going to make a little counterbore. I'm still on camera, that's good. I think that's about my depth. A little bit more. That should do it. Now, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to drill a little bit bigger hole there. Actually, no, I'm going to drill from the back side carefully. Open that hole up. So there's my hole. And it's counter sunk on the backside, or counter bored on the backside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a chrome bolt. This was the idea that I kind of came up with a while back that I wanted to do. So I've got a washer on the backside, and hopefully my countersink will be enough. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So now it's got, and that actually isn't a normal bolt. That is a chrome bolt. I actually bought chrome bolts, not nuts and washers, but chrome bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a series of 12 of those all the way around. And then when I come back, you'll see it completely done. So there it is, folks. It's all done. I got all of the bolts in place, so it has kind of a three-dimensional look. I don't know if that's really coming through on the camera. If it's not, I apologize, but I really love these chrome bolts. And it came out just like I hoped it would when I visualized it in my head. So Stevie, I hope you like it. And it's an honor to make this for you. I had a blast doing it. I always love doing these things. Love the white poplar and the live edge. I hope you like it. And I'm going to come right back, guys, because I want to talk a little bit more about the Total Boat. I got some really good specific information when it comes to putting this stuff on signs. So we'll be right back. All right, you guys. So here's what we got. This is the finish that I used. You guys saw me use this stuff, and I gotta say, 2 thumbs up for Total Boat. I loved it. Didn't have any issues with it at all. There was little tiny micro bubbles, but not near what it could have been with other products. I really loved it, and I talked to actually the tech support. I talked to Rick over there at Total Boat and asked him some specific questions. Number one, when you're dealing with wood like this, he said that it's always good to put something down to seal it up, which I kind of learned even with other products the hard way, that that really helps. So I told him, you know, can I use this stuff, this Krylon Clear? And he said absolutely. He said any kind of anything like that to seal up your board before you put your coat on, your pour coat on of your Total Boat is probably a good idea, because the wood has air bubbles and whatnot, and you guys seen we've dealt with that before. So that was number one. Number two, I asked him how soon till I can recoat, and he said somewhere, and now I said earlier that you could coat within an hour, but that was incorrect. I got specific. If you're in kind of the temperatures that are good, you can coat as long as it's still tacky, somewhere 3 to 5 hours. If you're in 60 to 70 degree temperatures, somewhere 3 to 5 hours, he said, as long as it's still got a tack to it, as long as it's tacky, then you can recoat. Or obviously you can recoat after it's totally cured, which I believe is like 24 hours. Or it's cured to the touch, and then the next day you can recoat. The work time is somewhere around 40 to 45 minutes. Again, normal temperatures, 65, 75 degrees, 40 to 45 minutes. You can work with this stuff. I got it done way faster than that, but because I didn't want to take a chance. The other thing is, for the bubbles that hit the surface, you can use a torch. Just don't let the flame touch the epoxy. That's what Rick said. So really lightly torch, and that'll take care of the bubbles. And then the other thing that I was really excited about, and this is what I talked to Austin over at Workbench Con about. I've been wanting to use the epoxy resin on exterior signs, but it doesn't have any UV protection. But Total Boat makes a product, this stuff right there, that's got UV protection. It's a varnish that you can put over the top of your resin that has UV protection. So that means you could use resin outside as long as you put this stuff over the top. Now, you don't want this stuff underneath it. You want this over the top of the resin once the resin is all cured. So super happy with this stuff. Thanks so much, guys, over at Total Boat for sending me this stuff to try. And if you guys want to try this stuff, there'll be a link in the description below. I'm going to get over in front of the camera now, actually. Hopefully. Again, I'm by myself, so if you guys want to buy this stuff, over in the description below. Oh, that's a little low. How about I sit down? That way I don't have to go back around over there. Anyway, I'm winging it, guys. Hang with me. Please be patient. Some of this stuff probably doesn't look near as good as if Vicky was filming it, but I'm taking care of it myself. Anyway, so 20% off if you guys want to buy some of this stuff and try it. A one-time 20% off. There'll be a description below, a link where you can go over there and over to Total Boat and buy some of their products and give it a try, see what you think. But I got to tell you, and you know, this stuff I actually want to try just by itself as well. I'm going to use the sprayer sometime soon and put this on some exterior signs. I want to give it a shot. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm just about out of words. Thanks again, guys, over at Total Boat. But big thank you to Stevie. Stevie, I absolutely loved meeting you at Workbench Con. I can't wait till we get together again. But I'll be shipping this thing off to you right away. I hope you like it. I sure appreciate the opportunity. Love you guys. Stevie, I love everything that you do on Instagram. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions about this or anything else, email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. I'm happy to answer your questions. I do it every day. That's what I kind of live for other than this. So hope you guys are having a great week, and we will see you on Friday live. Dad and I will be broadcasting on Friday. I don't know if Vicky will be back yet, but if not, Dad and I will handle it. Anyway, love you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And hit that thumbs up and that little bell icon so you get notified when we put out videos 3 times a week. Love you guys. Have it easy. Have it easy. Take it easy. See ya. Bye.